Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
Our second 10-minute speaker, Steve W.
My name is Steve Watson, and I'm an alcoholic, and I'll tell you the truth about her. I was born in a little town in Guatemala. Oh, wait a second. No. I was born here in Los Angeles to a very typical family, to an Irish Catholic alcoholic household. And, you know, that doesn't mean that that's why I'm an alcoholic today, but that's the upbringing I had. And when growing up, actually thought that alcohol, I knew it was bad. I saw what it did, and I didn't want anything to do with it, really, until I probably got to be about 6 or 7, and had my first drink. I had my first drink with my father, who was the alcoholic in our household, and I felt like a man, you know. We were at some frog jumping contest. I have no idea what we were doing at it, but we were up there. We were going to go visit my uncle's place or something, and, you know, we were in a little bar, and he bought a couple shots of whiskey and $1 cigar, and I put him back, and I smoked on that cigar, and I did what any little kid would do. I threw up, you know. I got drunk. But I felt a part of, you know, I felt a bond to my father I never had before, you know. And then I became a periodic from then. It's kind of hard to get it at that age. But what I found out is my dad had this liquor distributing company that instead of the distributors used to come with a truck and, you know, drop off maybe 20, 30, 40 cases of booze at a time. And what I could do is I could go down into the basement and pull out a bottle of vodka, and I could go up to the local 7-Eleven, I mean not 7-Eleven, but 31 Flavors, and get some Moa Moa Punch. Pour out half the Moa Moa Punch, mix in the vodka, and no one knows the difference. So I became I guess a child drunk, really, but I was a happy drunk, you know, I was a happy child. I got along with most everybody. Alcohol did for me certainly what I could not do for myself. I got introduced into drugs being, you know, 1970s, growing up then, and I love drugs, you know. They allowed me to drink longer. You know, I like speed and Coke and things like that, which enabled me to drink a lot longer. I was, when growing up, I was an altar boy. On the outside, I looked like a good little boy until I passed out once on the altar from drinking a little too much wine the day before the Mass, and the priest didn't care for that, so I didn't get to go to the altar boy picnic that year. But, you know, but I looked like a good little kid, so they forgave me a lot, you know, and my parents were bailing me out of a lot of difficult jams, and I'm sure the church had to get a new sound system or something, I have no idea, but to keep me in grade school. And it continued a path where one day I was down at my father's office, and I was doing some typing for him, because in freshman year you learn how to type at Jesuit schools. I went to Catholic schools, and I reached down looking for some typing paper, and I found 3 jars of 2.2 ounces of pharmaceutical cocaine. And I tried some of that, and I tried to type, and I found out I could type very, very fast, and I became a regular typer for my dad. Anytime he wanted me to type for him, I said fine. I also became a little supplier on the Friday night football games of drugs, and I was popular, and I was loud, I was jumping around. As I told you before, I became very social. They made me in charge of pep club and cheerleader, and I played volleyball and football. I mean, they couldn't pin me down because I had all these drugs going through my system and alcohol. I was hyper, and it worked for me. It worked great. What happened was, I, like a lot of us, the police department did not like me drinking and driving, and I guess I got popped for a 502 when I was like 17 years old. I got my first one, and all I did is get a slap on the hand because my parents took care of it, you know. And in that year around when I was 17, a lot of tragedy happened in my family, and my father died of our disease, and my sister got killed in a drunk driving accident, my mom got crippled, and my family, we had to go through a lot of pain. And what happened was, alcohol was not fun anymore. It became a necessity. It became a great way of me stuffing all that fear, you know, all that sadness, and I didn't need to cry through that because, see, I could drink and use, and I didn't have to share with my family. We were not a sharing type family anyways. I mean, still to this day, if I try to give my mom a kiss on the cheek, she's a little backed off because, you know, it's the way we're raised. You just don't talk about it, you know. Everything's going to be okay, and just don't tell the Joneses, you know. Just look good. And I went to college, and I continued to get 502s, and I got introduced to AA. And I'm a lot like Brenda. I came into AA. I didn't want to be here. I learned that if I took a court card and a meeting directory to my local pub, I could get free drinks, getting my alcoholic friends or people that I like to drink with signing my meeting card. So I used that to get a few drinks, and I would do all those fun little things. I went to a bunch of different type of hospitals, programs. Eventually I ended up in a mental institution because the drinking and using didn't work anymore. And when I was over in this mental institution, it was over in the state of Hawaii, they told me about a group over here that meets at Ohio Street. They just said, you go to Ohio Street and you'll be okay. And they didn't say which night or anything like that. I'm glad I popped in on a Sunday night, you know, and I caught the Pacific group. And I came in with a friend, my Eskimo, and I came in, and right away I was greeted by, like, Dino. He put his hand down and says, do you have a sponsor? And I go, no. He goes, I'm your sponsor, you know, kind of like that type of idea. And he got me into the program. I didn't get sober right away because I've been in and out of Alcoholics Anonymous before because I kept getting 502s. And what happened was I continued to drink and use, and one day I was drunk and loaded, and he called me up, and I'm 26 years old, living under my mom's roof, not really doing much of anything except living off her and her credit cards. And he comes over and finds out I'm drunk and loaded, and she says, I don't think he wants to go to a meeting, and it's a Wednesday, and I was supposed to serve coffee that night. He goes, I'm sure he doesn't want to go to a meeting, but I'm going to take him anyways. And I guess that's really not attraction, that's more promotion than attraction, but if he didn't do that, I don't know if I'd be here today. And so he dragged me here, and I couldn't do my commitment, but I found out that you love me the way I was. You know, I just have to be me. Nothing special. I can let my guard down, and I found out that you accepted me, and you just told me it's going to be okay. You know, as we do here. We welcome each other. We show so much love. I remember my first year cake at this meeting. I started to cry that night after taking the cake, and in the mental institution, they wanted me to cry, and I'd never do it for them. They said, we just want you to show emotion, because I became such a desert of emotion. There was nothing inside me. I started to cry that night, and I had no idea why I was crying. And, you know, Brenda has to tell me, hey, honey, those are tears of joy. It's okay. You know, it's okay to cry. This program has given me so very much. It's given me a life that I did not know that I was allowed to have, you know? Because when I came in here, I kind of thought that I was going to be destined to kind of a crappy little life, you know? And I was going to just kind of trudge along, hopefully die young, so I wouldn't have to live it out, you know? And that's what I truly wanted. And that's the furthest thing away. I mean, my brother's come into the program. I have a relationship with my brother I would never be able to have. I'm the guy that gave Brenda the little note at the meeting. I mean, she came here and we became friends for about a day, and you know, got engaged. I don't know. She says that I ain't got engaged to her, but the truth is, you know, she said you either get engaged or, you know, whatever. And then we got disengaged and engaged and disengaged and engaged, and finally we had a big AA wedding. You know, where people were invited to the house, and you supported us there. And you love us. You love us when things are great. You love us when things are bad. You love us when things are just simply okay. I've gotten to work the steps and work with other people. I have had, like Brenda, terrific sponsors, and I have a terrific sponsor today, Clint, who I know has taught me that it's okay to love another man and to respect another man and his opinion, because see, I had that difficulty. I had trouble respecting an elder man older than myself because I couldn't respect my father for what he did. See, he died without loving me, I thought, but he did the best he could, and Clint has taught me that, our disease takes us in many different ways, and all we got to do is love one another, and all we got to do is accept the spiritual path, and when we get up, ask God to direct our thinking. As I said, I'm a Catholic. I too am a recovering Catholic like Brenda, and we're trying to recover together, and I found out that, I've got an extremely loving God, and He's got enough love for me, and He's got enough love for all you, because see, I used to come a lot from scarcity, and I think there wasn't enough to go around, and today I know there's plenty to go around, and all we got to do is support one another. And if you're new, if you don't know what a sponsor's about or the steps, ask the person sitting beside you. I know they'd love to help you. And if you stick around, I can promise you'll have a wonderful life. Thank you.
I think we got a great talk going on here. Thanks for watching the channel. Taper Dave here. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with, and it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst, then one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, out, in, up, down. And then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right, but I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.